What up, YouTube? Asian Persuasion here, and I'm here with my boy Slim, and we're back at YCS Anaheim, and we're here with the top 32 duelist, my boy Anthony Confletti, who played a very spicy deck. What did you play, my friend?
I played Memento for this event through testing. I didn't like fire or anything like that else, and I knew Rizzo would be popular, but I didn't feel like wanting to play mirrors. And in testing, and some other friends who told me about it, Memento just has an insane Rizzo matchup, so I played it, and it worked out for me.
And you lost to how many Rizzios this weekend?
My only one in top 32.
And everyone else got crushed.
Yeah, they got destroyed.
Yeah, it's just crazy how this deck was a good meta call for you, because everyone's playing Rizzio.
I didn't, other than one game in round 3, I didn't brick all tournament, and I just had that feeling it was going to happen, because it happened to me in Niagara too, and it did. The deck loses to itself sometimes, and I bricked. So.
Yeah, but when it goes,
yes.
It's over.
I like to watch people like lose their soul when you activate 2 quick plays and they lose 3 hand traps. You're still on a full board.
Hell yeah.
It happens.
All right, so before we get into profile, you want to give any shout-outs?
Yeah, shout out to Steve Froggy Logan, who taught me the deck. He's still better than me at it, but I'm still learning. And then shout out to Edward Kim. He's the one who told me about the good matchup, because I was like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, trust me, it worked. And shout out to him for being the GOAT, because I would not have played this deck originally.
And they gave you a top cut run, baby.
Yeah, they did. They gave me a top cut run.
Yeah, I love it. Let's get into it, Anthony. Let's see it.
For the best starters is 3 Witch. This is Rhoda for the Archetype, and then it can reborn level 2 or lower from the graveyard. 2 Darkblade. I know some people play 3, but I have an issue clogging on too many normal summons because there are 11 1-card starters in the deck, but you can't normal summon 11 times.
It's true.
And he tellies into her, and then it keeps getting cards. The next 1-card starter is the Extender, the horse. It summons itself for free from the hand if you only control Memento or no cards. And then it foolishes cards up to the level. So I pop it, I can send like a 2 and a 3, a 4 and a 1, etc.
Hey, wait, isn't that the horse puke meme guy?
A little bit, yeah. All these guys are based off like ugly OCG vanillas.
Oh, okay.
2 Nightmare, 2 Goblin, another 1-card starter. Foolishes 2 on the activation. You play 2 because I play the quick play spell to dodge that came out recently, the Goblin Biker spell.
Oh, I forgot about that card.
Yeah, it's a Goblin card. Yeah. A lot of times, earlier today, someone Pirelli'd me. I read Pirelli to make sure. I'm like, okay, I set a hand trap, add Goblin Biker spell, summon this, and he never drew a card. And then someone else double Pirelli'd me, and then I never let them draw a card. I did full combo without normal summoning. Sometimes you do have to give them a draw like Witch or Horse, but a lot of times you can play around any of the Fulos cards.
That is broken.
And then the required 1-ofs, Gaddock, Sheeply, Mace, Akahiron, Trihorn, and Big Guy. This guy, when he goes to the grave, he can summon himself by a monster effect, and then he adds any Memento card from the grave. This card is just Poly, as long as you destroy the card. This is just another 1-card starter and searches any card in the deck. This boy is the GOAT. He lets all your level 9 or higher attack directly, so you can just cheese game. And he's the best recursion, because anytime a guy is popped, he comes back from the graveyard, and then when you pop him, he adds any card from the graveyard or banish to your hand.
Jesus Christ.
And then I made concessions, so I still played him. He's just an extender. He's like a Cyber Dragon if you have 3 or more in the grave. If he gets sent to the field to the grave, he can target a Memento you control. Well, at least 3 cards in the field, and 1 has to be a Memento, and destroy them all. I didn't main deck trap card, so he was good to end on. And then the big boss monster.
Yeah, this is the towers negate.
He doesn't
trap
negate
guy
anything.
thing. With
yeah,
the
but I don't play that trap.
Oh, really?
I cut the trap.
That's surprising. Okay.
Yeah. So because you never make the trap, and everyone hand traps you, and you never get it, and it only works with him. So.
Oh, that makes sense.
But no one understands how it works. So you just go like him. You summon back the Witch from the grave, and then you add this. And on your opponent's turn, this is Change of Heart.
Oh, you just snatch their monsters?
So they'll went like X, aggregator negate this or something. So I just go Witch, search this, and I just mind control their guy. What? And then this guy is during either player's turn. If you control him, you discard him, and then your opponent can't target anything. So a lot of times the Rizziel cards just can't target my cards if I just discard it. And then one player was like, I fooed him, so he just made like Paradise Pass, and he summoned back the Lacrimont. Sent the parrot on the effect. I'm like Chain Goblin.
Oh my god!
I'm like, he's like, what does that do? I'm like, oh well, your Desirae's not targeting my cards anymore.
That's crazy.
And he just died.
I'm sure a good advantage for your deck is there's so many paragraphs on each one of these cards
so
that
when I started the tournament, it was fine. And then as I slowly got on, I'm surprised that less people knew what I did as I farther I got on.
Yeah.
And it just got very frustrating.
Because it got closer to time and stuff.
Yeah, I know. I'm not only not a time player,
yeah,
and I don't play side deck cards or time cards because I play fast.
Yeah.
But it was very frustrating when they were just pause and read the cards, and not just game 1, but games 2 and 3.
Yeah, after they already read it a couple times.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah, so, that's the only thing I'm scared about playing decks like this, because there's so many paragraphs.
And it's not like you're playing slow, but you just have to pop like 20 cards just to end on your board. To get enough guys to summon him.
Yeah.
The other cards are these guys. the spells. You have Bone Party. This card lets you dodge hand traps or just play through. Pop a card and then add or special summon any Memento card. Fusion that lets you fuse back from the graveyard, and this is follow-up, so if it's in the grave, you banish it, pop a card, and then add any of the spells or traps. And then you play 2 Goblin for this, because this is just E-Telly for Goblin.
E-Telly. Oh my gosh.
So if you go Veiler on Witch, you go this, they lose a Veiler, you get your horse, and you summon Goblin.
So you just still do the same thing.
Yeah, you have eight ways to dodge if you need to. And the
my.
field spell brings back cards and sets spells and traps.
Jesus.
And then I know other people have recently top played like Griffin and all about the Beat Bill's Girl, but I knew that Riziol you need hand traps, and like I'm confident with just the engine alone. I didn't need to play any extra cards. I didn't want to brick because you can brick on these guys, right?
Yeah.
Like you brick when you open like this, and this. You can't goblin these guys.
Yeah.
So it's rough. So I ended up just playing a bajillion hand traps, 3 Folos, 3 Veiler, 3 Ash, 3 Imperm. And then the concession 2 Nib. I didn't want to open multiple Nib because Nib, either you don't Nib them, you Full-Host them and they don't play in the Nib, or you hand trap them already and Nib is useless.
Yeah.
1 Mourner and 1 Ogre because these are once per turn cards, and it made siding better. My deck count's 41, and to play more hand traps I had to cut like Prosperity and Rhoda to not play through like Droll and stuff, make playing through Droll easier. But playing 41 made my siding easier, so I played 1 and 1.
Yeah.
So like I thought Snake Eyes would still be relevant, but it wasn't.
I don't think I saw very
So this card
many.
got sided out a lot because I played a lot of Riziol, and this guy got replaced with the 2nd Ogre.
Yeah.
But it was good because it just helped me side it easier. And nothing's wrong with 16 hand traps.
Yeah, definitely.
And then like as you see, I didn't play any of the trap cards because the trap cards only work if you have him, and in the hand trap format, you're not resolving. You have to play other cards to get to these cards to end on him to do your monster effects. So you're never getting to the trap card.
Yeah.
So I didn't play anymore. I didn't play the trap.
See, that's what got me. I'm like, he's gonna get the trap, and then you're like, nah.
Yeah, a lot of people were like, oh, I gotta stop this because it gets the trap, and there was never. And then some people were like, set a bluff card because they might not
Think
know I
it's a
have
trap
this,
or
and I just
something.
set this off the field spell, and they're like, oh, that's a trap card, and it's not. Oh, and everyone's playing Ogre, and the Ogre just beats it. The XYZ that they send can negate it.
Yeah.
You can pop it. It was too fragile to play, and it's
fair.
a brick going 2nd.
It's true. I'm sure you lost a lot of die rolls too. Just like normal Yu-Gi-Oh peeps. Huh?
I want to say it was about 50-50. I
About
didn't keep
50?
track, but it's about 50-50.
Fair enough.
Oh, this is all done. The extra deck. You play 3 of this guy. When you make the first one, you dump 1 to search the field spell, and then you always need this one to make it because you could always put 1 back to make the other, like the whole trick. But one guy Ultimate Slayer this, so I just activated my Sheeply in my hand and then just remade it. So
Oh, he was sick.
yeah, and this guy can pop target as many Memento cards I control and as many cards as you do and destroy them.
Non-targeting?
Yeah, targets.
Oh, targets? I was like,
targets.
oh
But
gosh.
Usually just put 2 bodies on the field and you pop.
That is
And
fair.
then you go like Bone Party into this guy, pop 2 more.
Oh yeah.
And then if you
You're
need
just
to, you
clearing
go
board.
Fusion and Guarding Chimera and pop 2 more.
You're just clearing all the boards.
Yeah, they never XYZ summon. 2 of him. You only really need 1, but in grind games when you get hand trapped and you need just to fuse into another body, you need a 2 material guy. So, and then he just adds 2, pops a card, and then when he gets popped, he reborns 1 from the grave. And the only other fusion I played is Chimera. Before you really didn't make it too much because you always want to make this guy because its engine gets you up for the next turn and pops as many. But sometimes you need to resolve this to pop more cards.
Yeah.
Anima, Herald, IP, SP, Dark, Selene, and Access Code were my links. Usually your end board ends on one of these 2 guys. This is a Spell and Trap Negate because Mace is a fairy. So you send it and then you can add back the Mace and do other stuff and then change a heart. But a lot of times when you think they have Nib, you end on this, so you still have the big guy. I made concessions for these 2 cards and I cut Lina and I regret it because like when I'm at locals, when you get Nib or you Nib them and Fiendsmith and all this, there's lights. And I was playing Lina and I had to cut. And I talked to Froggy and he's like, oh, cut it. I wish one of these was Lina. I never made this because either Nib, I always end on these.
Yeah.
And Dark, I never made Dark because I never played a Dark deck. Well, I played 2 Malice, but it never comes out. And it mattered because Lina goes into Selene, and then Selene coming back the Witch for Rhoda, and then Reborn. So like, there's a couple times this weekend I was like, man, I wish I had I could make Lina to make Selene, yeah. And then you use this to either steal a card SP, or you make this and Witch into this, or Goblin and Gaddock into that. And then the last 2 cards was Typhon and the Aggregator. This card is just like wasn't that played, but when you break into the Riziol board, right, as long as they don't like lock you or hand trap you too much, you just soft lock them. You do this after that, and then you bounce the duo drive, you SP the field spell, and then you leave, and then you tap up the duo drive and you bounce the detonator. and then you replace all your spell and traps, so you just use and play on their turn.
Yeah.
So, and then this doesn't matter. And then I play Ulti Slayer for this card because Baguska is a slight problem for this deck, especially if they have cross up. So this just outs both cards. And you have extra deck space.
For sure.
And then the side was 3 Parelia, 1 Ogre, 1 Nib. Like I said, the Ogre came in for the Mourner if it was bad, and this was the only time I ever wanted to see multiple Nib in my hand was against Malice. So like, or some weird deck, but I never played it. 3 Ulti Slayer for the Rizio matchup. The 1 Call by the Grave for those shifter players out there and just going first. Because they can call by a hand trap and you play through another hand trap, they're down to like 3 cards.
Yeah.
And then 2 Thrust, a Barrier, Doom Cannon, and Threatening Roar. I didn't see this as much, but I saw it's fine because this card covers other things too. So it was like playing 3 Thrust. But obviously this is obvious, and this is for Tempai.
Yeah.
Because they can kill you 3D Barrier. So like instead of 3 Thrusts in 1, it's like 2 Thrusts and 2 copies. And then the only trap I played was this. This card is insane. It pops a card, and then if you control the big guy, it pops another card.
Wow.
So like you go Singing Summoning and then summon Chandra, and then you just go pop the Singing Summoning and then pop the Chandra. Or they put 2 guys on the field in Rizil, and before you activate any of your other cards, you can use this to not play the talents and just go pop Ice, then pop Sword, and they have to put 2 more buys on the field. And then you Creation King, pop the next 2, and then like, yeah, it's over.
And you have hand traps, so it doesn't even
And
matter.
then if you get hand trapped, the other guard is continuous, like I said, and gets negated and popped, and you need the big guy. This can still pop a card if you just have any Memento on the field.
Any Memento, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a Rizio killer.
Man, you ain't lying about the Rizio matchup. My God.
Matchup this weekend.
Yeah.
And I played Flower Guardian was round 1. I played 2
Oh my
Malice. I played 1 Tempai, and the rest was pure Rizio or Fiendsmith.
Yeah, Rizio. Nice. Well, congratulations, Anthony, on getting top 32 with a very different deck. I did not expect to see Memento this weekend, which is awesome. And thanks for the deck profile, brother.
You're welcome. Thanks.